You know that specific kind of quiet. It's 11:43 p.m. You're sitting on the edge of your bed, phone in hand, staring at their name in your contacts. The last text you sent was 3 days ago. Or maybe it was 3 weeks. You've read it so many times the words have lost their meaning. You can feel the physical weight of the silence in your chest, a tightness right behind your ribs that makes it hard to take a full breath. You aren't just missing them. You are haunting your own life, waiting for a ghost to text back. And then the thoughts start. They come fast and sharp. Did I push too hard? Do they even care anymore? If I reach out now, will I look desperate? Maybe if I just stay silent long enough, they'll realize what they've lost. Am I punishing them, or am I punishing myself? Here is the truth that no one tells you about avoidant attachment. You don't lose an avoidant partner because you loved them too much. You lose them because the relationship stopped feeling like a sanctuary and started feeling like a demand. Silence doesn't make an avoidant ex miss you. Safety does. And right now, your silence isn't creating safety. It's creating uncertainty. And uncertainty is the one thing an avoidant nervous system cannot tolerate. You are not failing at love. You are not too much. You are simply trying to solve an emotional problem with a strategic tactic. And it's not working. But it can. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what is happening in your ex's brain during no contact, why standard advice is likely pushing them further away, and how to shift from waiting to becoming in a way that actually invites them back. Let's get into it. Most people believe that no contact is a game of chicken. They think it's a test of wills. Who breaks first? Who cares less? They treat silence like a weapon, hoping that the pain of absence will force their ex to come crawling back. This is the mainstream view. It's what your friends tell you. It's what the blogs say. But the real truth is far more nuanced, and frankly, far more hopeful. For an avoidant ex, your silence is not interpreted as mystery or playing hard to get. It is interpreted as confirmation. Confirmation that the relationship was indeed too heavy, too demanding, and ultimately, unsafe. When an avoidant person pulls away, their nervous system is in a state of hyperarousal. They are overwhelmed. They feel engulfed. When you go silent, you are not giving them space to breathe. You are giving them space to rationalize their exit. You are allowing their narrative that we just aren't compatible, or I need to be alone, to solidify into fact. Here is the shift you need to make right now. Stop viewing no contact as a tactic to get them back. Start viewing it as a period of de-escalation. Your partner's nervous system is reading you before their mind can catch up. If your energy, even your silent energy, is charged with anxiety, longing, or expectation, they can feel it. They sense the pull. And when an avoidant senses a pull, their instinct is to push. But when the pull stops, when the pressure truly lifts, that is when curiosity returns. What looks like stonewalling is usually someone who has been so overwhelmed for so long that silence is the only protection they have left. You don't drift apart because you stopped caring. You drift apart because you stopped being curious about each other's internal worlds and started reacting to each other's triggers. So, the question isn't, does no contact work? The question is, what are you doing with the silence? If you are using it to wait, you are stuck. if you are using it to regulate your own nervous system and become a source of safety rather than demand, you are changing the entire dynamic. This isn't about manipulation. It's about biology. It's about how humans bond. And once you understand the biology, you stop fighting the current and start learning how to swim. Here are the 5 truths about no contact and avoidant exes that will change how you approach this breakup. First, let's talk about the phantom ex phenomenon. Most couples believe that out of sight means out of mind. They think that if they don't hear from their ex isn't thinking about them. They assume silence equals indifference. But the deeper psychological truth is that avoidants often process loss in reverse. While anxious attachers feel the pain immediately and intensely, avoidants often feel relief first. It's only after the dust settles, after the pressure of the relationship has fully dissipated, that the phantom ex phenomenon kicks in. This is where the avoidant partner begins to idealize the past, because the present threat of intimacy is gone. Here's the part no one talks about. Your ex isn't missing you yet. They are missing the idea of you. They are missing the version of you that didn't ask for anything. In the disconnecting version, you spend no contact checking their social media, looking for clues, and sending subtle breadcrumbs to remind them you exist. Your energy is loud, even if your mouth is shut. Their brain registers, she's still waiting. The pressure is still there. I need to keep my guard up. But in the connecting version, you go truly silent. Not out of spite, but out of respect for their need for autonomy. You remove your digital footprint from their daily life. You let them experience the actual void of your absence. Their brain starts to register, wait, she's actually gone. The noise has stopped. What was it like when we were good? And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. Second, understand that silence is not strategy, it's regulation. Most people in relationships use no contact as a passive-aggressive tool. They think, if I ignore him, he'll realize how much he needs me. They treat silence as a punishment. But here is the reality. An avoidant ex does not respond to punishment. They respond to regulation. If your nervous system is dysregulated, if you are anxious, spiraling, and obsessed, the energy you emit is chaotic. Even if you don't speak, that chaos leaks out. Maybe you post vague quotes. Maybe you like old photos. Maybe your friends talk to their friends. In the disconnecting version, you are doing no contact, but you are internally screaming. You are counting the days. You are analyzing every micro-interaction. Your inner monologue is, why hasn't he reached out? Does he hate me? I should send one text just to check. This energy is palpable. It feels like a trap. But in the connecting version, you use this time to literally calm your body. You focus on sleep, movement, and grounding. You stop checking the phone. You stop seeking external validation. Your inner monologue shifts to, I am safe on my own. I am whole. I am not waiting for permission to live. This isn't a communication hack. This is just what two emotionally mature people naturally do when they respect themselves. When you regulate yourself, you become non-threatening. And for an avoidant, non-threatening is magnetic. Third, we must dismantle the myth of missing you. Most couples believe that love is sustained by constant contact. They think that if they stop talking, the connection will fade. They fear that silence will erase the bond. But the deeper truth is that intimacy isn't built in the big moments. It's built in the 30-second ones, when you choose to look up. And conversely, disconnection happens in the 1,000 small moments where one person reaches out and the other pulls away. During no contact, your ex is not sitting around crying over your absence. They are likely engaging in deactivating strategies. They are distracting themselves. They are focusing on work, hobbies, or new distractions to suppress the vulnerability they felt in the relationship. In the disconnecting version, you try to interrupt their deactivation. You send a meme. You ask a casual question. You try to keep the door open. Their brain registers, here it comes again, the demand for attention. I can't relax. But in the connecting version, you allow them to deactivate. You let them distract themselves. You trust that if the connection was real, it will survive the distance. You understand that their distraction is not a rejection of you, but a coping mechanism for their own overwhelm. That's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. Fourth, prioritize curiosity over certainty. Most people in relationships seek certainty. They want to know, are we getting back together? Yes or no? They use no contact to force an answer. They want closure. But here is what nobody explains. Avoidants thrive in ambiguity until they feel safe. When you demand certainty, you trigger their fear of entrapment. When you embrace ambiguity, you create space for curiosity. In the disconnecting version, you set a deadline in your head. If he doesn't text by Friday, I'm blocking him. You are operating from fear. Your energy is rigid. Their brain says, she's trying to control the timeline. I need to escape. But in the connecting version, you release the timeline. You accept that you don't know what will happen. You become curious about your own life again. You start new projects. You reconnect with friends. You become interesting again. Not for them, but for you. Their brain starts to wonder, who is she becoming? She seems different, lighter. And here's what changes everything. Attraction is not sparked by need. It is sparked by freedom. When you show you are free, they feel free to come closer. Fifth, master the re-entry point. Most couples believe that when no contact ends, it should be a grand gesture, a long letter, a dramatic confession, a plea for another chance. But the real truth is that avoidants re-enter relationships through low-stakes, low-pressure interactions. They need to test the waters. They need to see if the dynamic has actually changed. If you come back with high emotion, you confirm their worst fears. If you come back with lightness, you invite them in. In the disconnecting version, you break no contact with a heavy email detailing your feelings, your growth, and your desire to fix things. You pour your heart out. Their brain registers, oh no, here comes the intensity. Here comes the work. I'm not ready for this. They retreat. But in the connecting version, you break no contact with something light, specific, and low demand. A shared memory. A funny observation.